So we are walking in central Vilnius.
We are back in the Baltics.
This is Vilnius, Lithuania.
You will see this on every Lithuanian menu.
Home of the pink soup.
And perhaps even the bagel.
Yes, it's true, but Lithuania was the last country in Europe to be Christianized.
We talk to a local and go on a free walking tour.
Ačiū, thank you.
Slow. Embrace your artist side.
From brutalism to Lithuanian rock.
Then we head to Lithuania's second biggest city,
Kaunas, which boasts this charming medieval castle.
This is big.
And small travel.
We're in
Vilnius,
Lithuania.
we flew from Copenhagen, Denmark to Vilnius, Lithuania.
Lithuania is in northeastern Europe, bordered by Latvia in the north, Belarus in the east and south, Poland in the south, and Russia in the southwest.
I love VNO, Vilnius.
We've arrived here in Lithuania. The fun begins.
Lithuania is in the Baltic states. The Baltics is a geopolitical term,
Which also includes Estonia and Latvia.
You can also watch our videos in the capitals of Tallinn, Estonia, and Riga, Latvia.
We've made it to Vilnius. We are actually staying on the other side of the river from the old town, but everything seems pretty walkable. And Old Town is kind of the area with the main attractions.
As we see along the river path of the Neris. The capital city of Vilnius was founded in 1387 when Lithuania was Christianized.
Vilnius was settled by craftsmen and merchants from various nationalities.
So many places to sit in the city, many benches, but it's also a very green city. The greenest city in Europe with the only hot air balloons in any European capital would be here in Lithuania, in Vilnius.
So I'm Justina, and currently I live in Vilnius, Lithuania.
My main question would be, why should someone come to Lithuania?
First of all, I think that Lithuania is kind of a calm place and still not over touristic. I think that Vilnius and Lithuania still has a lot of authenticity here.
This is the Vilnius Cathedral, restored like many things here in Vilnius, but it does give the city a new and historic feeling.
This tower here has 4 different architectural styles. The Vilnius sandwich.
I will tell you more. There's the underground floor, which is of the old Baltic style.
In a city like Vilnius, a free walking tour is great. This one was about 2.5 hours, mostly went through the old
We
town.
even see the self-proclaimed independent republic on this tour.
So we are walking in central Vilnius, looking for something to eat.
Looks like we landed on a good street for that.
My favorite Lithuanian food. We discussed this on the tour, the pink soup. Lithuanians are proud. There is a pink soup festival in Vilnius. It's only started recently, the pink soup. Preferable to be had during the summer.
This is beets, which give it that color, kefir, and some cream and dill on the top. You will see this on every Lithuanian menu. It's essentially rye bread fried with cheese. And there's also garlic, like a kind of a cheesy garlicky sauce, I believe.
There is rye bread underneath there.
Our next stop, this is the Neris River. All we need to do is cross it. And this is the tower from the old castle, dating back from the 15th century. As you can see, there's a funicular, but I think we might walk up there.
This is the tower here. We're going to go up. It's all about the hike up to the top. Let's do this. This is how you get up with the stairway. You got a little hike on cobblestone. The castle is on a hill. This hill here in Vilnius is one of the most expensive hills, actually the most expensive hill in Lithuania.
This is the remaining tower of the Gediminas castle from the 15th century. Legend has it that the Grand Duke Gediminas had a dream of an iron wolf howling on top of this very hill, and he saw that as a sign of the great city to come. Now Vilnius. You can see the newer part of the city with the skyscrapers there.
The old city behind us, the new city on the other side. It's eroding, so they need to continually maintain it.
But then Lithuania was a part of Russian Empire. Some trees were planted around. And also a long time ago, a municipality got rid of the trees. What happened? The hill started sliding. Already more than 25 million euros have been invested to keep the hill in its place.
There's a bit of an ugly story behind this hill with the three crosses. Franciscans were here and died as martyrs when pagans tied them to crosses and threw them down the hill.
This is the hillside. That is far. This is Town Hall Square here in Vilnius. The first mention of the town hall, reportedly 1432, but the building behind me wasn't built, or the original foundation built, until the end of the 18th century. So this place now is where a lot of exhibitions, cultural events happen.
This is St. Catherine's Church. It's a restored Baroque cathedral from the 1700s. Nowadays they use it for music recitals. I guess it has great acoustics inside.
We came across a free city festival with live music of local bands. This is the Gate of Dawn, a historical and cultural monument and major site of Catholic pilgrimage.
This was once the Vilnius ghetto. It is now a place for very modern restaurants, nicer, upscale bars, cafes, that sort of thing. Looks like we landed on a good street for that.
This is Pilia Street, one of the main streets in the old town of Vilnius. We met at a great cafe called Pinavija Bakery with Justina to talk more about the Baltics.
And it is the most populous country as well from the Baltic states. But actually it's not that different from Latvia, for example. Even our languages are quite similar. So if you want a Baltic experience, it's quite good to visit both Latvia and Lithuania. Estonia is a little bit different. They have a more different language. There is a prison to visit which actually closed recently. It used to be a very strict prison for people who were sentenced for life. and it is right in the city center, not far from a parliament building. And there are tours there to visit. But now it's more of an open space for culture, for art, a different kind of history of Vilnius to see.
Let's get to the free Vilnius walking tour.
Why? Because we started building our city wall later than the other nations in the 16th century only. Different decorations with lots of curves, and this is Saint Kazimier's church. Saint Casimir, the only saint of Lithuania, Prince of Poland, Grand Duke of Lithuania.
This church was founded in 1618. In the past, some would call the image of baby Jesus Stalin or Lenin.
As the tour guide said, if it was Lenin, it'd be bald.
Yes.
It's true that Lithuania was the last country in Europe to be Christianized back in the 15th century or 16th century, and the last area in whole Europe to be Christianized was a small region inside Lithuania, which is called Samogitia. So we still keep a lot of that inside.
This is the Palace of Concert and Sport, opened in 1971 by the Soviets, closed in 2004 on this very ground here where we're standing on. In 1949 was the oldest Jewish cemetery, which was destroyed by the Soviets. The style of this building, I would say, is brutalist. Reminds me of some of the buildings we saw in other parts of Europe, like Macedonia. Catch up with the tour?
More about rebirth from our guide.
Approximately 100,000 people were killed over there. So how it looked like? Massive pits were dug. Death doesn't always symbolize the end. It sometimes symbolizes the beginning. Uòupis is known for its celebrations, mainly the celebration of the Independence Day, the 1st of April. Uòupis, behind the river. It's not a fake republic, it's a real republic, as long as it has everything a real republic can have. The president.
Always smile, move slow, embrace your artist side. If you don't do any of those, you can be thrown into the river. On the street, they even have their own constitution listed in many different languages.
This is the republic. I can't pronounce it. It is a fake republic, but it's small and it's fun, and it looks like you've got a lot of interesting artistic corners.
This street in Old Town Vilnius has many plaques on the walls.
This is the cover page of the first Lithuanian book. So, and just before we go, I want us to learn a couple of Lithuanian words. And we'll start with labas. Labas. Hi. Hello. Labas. Hi. Hello. Labas. How do you sneeze in English? How do you sneeze in English? Ačiū. Ačiū. Thank you. Yeah, ačiū, thank you. Yes, and you've seen the supermarket, iki, see you later. So labas, ačiū, and iki.
In a city like Vilnius, a free walking tour is great. This one was about 2.5 hours, mostly went through the old town, the main attractions. Time for bagels. Why are we having bagels here?
About the language of Lithuania.
Yeah, tell us a little bit about the origins of the Lithuanian language.
We are from a Baltic language group, which is very distinct from the rest of the languages in European. It's not related to any other European languages because it actually has similarities to Sanskrit, the ancient language in India. So the language is directly coming from there, somewhere in the Indian mountains, supposedly.
Did you know that the bagel is actually from Lithuania? From the Jewish people that lived here to New York during the days of the Commonwealth with Poland.
From New York or from Lithuania?
The earliest known mention of a baked ring-shaped bread like a bagel would be from the 13th century from a Syrian cookbook.
This Gothic-style church from around 1500, this is St. Anne's Church. It was said that Napoleon loved the look of it. Behind is a church of St. Francis of Assisi. In the center of Vilnius. And this is the writer-composer of the Lithuanian anthem. And this square is named after him.
Has a post-Soviet look to it. This is a difficult question, but it has to be asked about the relationship and how you deal with Russia and your past with that.
Of course, we are trying to distance from this as much as we can, and this is what drives the Lithuanian people, actually. This is why there is so much development. Lithuania has changed so much in 20, 30 years, and it's almost unrecognizable these days in Europe, with Russia and Ukraine.
The Soviet occupation lasted from 1940 to 1990. This left a visible mark on everyday life, in architecture, even in the airport, historic sites, food, and culture.
Yes, it feels like a brand new city out here, and it's being built as we speak. This is great coffee, Escadar coffee. There are actually several Lithuanian coffee chains like Caffeine, Cafe Barrel.
Yeah.
I've seen this one in a few places in Vilnius. Just a simple black coffee, it's great.
And we have a double espresso.
Now I'm done. Construction is behind us. We're in an older neighborhood where we stayed in central Vilnius. A lot of construction going on now, foreign investment, EU investment. This is the changing face of Vilnius. This neighborhood shows kind of remnants of Soviet urban planning when they'd kind of build up one area and ignore another area. So you have new buildings and then these older wooden houses from around the 19th century. It reminds us of the wooden houses of Tallinn in Estonia, the other Baltic country in the north. We are in a free museum here about the currency in the lita.
They have this cool display of all of the money from when it started as a Commonwealth with Poland in 1569. You can see how it changes over the years. Here is the Republic of Lithuania.
1,000,000 lita coins. This is the former currency of Lithuania.
They built this when Lithuania took the euro as its money in 2015. So they made an art piece with their own coins. This is a Guinness World Record, 1,935,000.
Coins were introduced to the Baltic states by the Hanseatic League, a medieval merchant group in Central and Northern Europe.
On the road heading out of Vilnius. Roadside stop. Lots of lush forest.
Hello, we are in Kaunas for the day only, so we have to utilize our time. We're staying by the airport, as you can see. Let's go. One of the more enjoyable hotels.
The Air Hotel, we actually even had a little kitchenette, so we were able to make dinner and breakfast at the Kaunas airport.
They're building, renewing the infrastructure here in Lithuania. We are navigating between Vilnius and Kaunas by car. Usually we like to take trains, walk, buses if we can, but I think in Lithuania we decided to do this by car. But we're here in Vilnius, we're here actually in Kaunas for a very short time, so let's enjoy it.
We are in Kaunas in Lithuania. Hashtag Kaunas. After Vilnius, Kaunas here is the second biggest city in Lithuania. We are exploring the old town right by the Kaunas castle. And there's a donut place for Big.
It's a donut, but it's a donut hall called Spurga with blueberry here.
The main square in Old Town Kaunas. Behind me is the town hall from the 1500s. And over on this side is the Cathedral of St. Peter and St. Paul.
This is a very large town hall square. It looks like we got it to ourselves, Small. This is the town hall here of Kaunas. This town grew out of the Hanseatic League. The Hanseatic League is something we talk a lot about in our Tallinn video for Estonia, as well Riga. This is a German merchants group that settled and established a lot of commerce here. And Kaunas, as well Klaipėda, have a lot of commerce and port activity and trade.
Big getting into our ride here. Vintage Mustang.
What a house.
This is the House of Thunder. And it's been many things over time. It was a residence of a wealthy townsman, merchant. It eventually became a chapel, and then a drama theater, and then returned back to the Jesuits.
Linked to the Hanseatic League. Walking to the castle finally. The Kaunas Castle, built at the confluence of the Numanis and Neris rivers, was built in the 14th century to defend against the onslaught of crusaders. One of the first stone castles in Lithuania. This is the oldest remaining stone castle in Lithuania. Kaunas is historical because it was an intersection of trade routes and near a river port, making it a very important port and center of trade. The only one that has 2 rows of defensive walls, as you can see there. It has a Gothic style. I think our time in Kaunas is coming to an end soon.
Here for a brief time. If you only have a few hours, check out the castle, a little bit of the old town. Just before sunset, we found this picturesque swing outside Kaunas. Want to know exactly where this is? Leave us a comment.
Thank you for watching. Have you been to Vilnius or Kaunas? Let us know.
Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. As they say in Lithuania, ačiū.
Ačiū. Ciao.
Ciao.